Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Shabbat Shalom to everybody in the room. Shabbat Shalom to people on Zoom. It's great to have you here on this night. And here we are in some of the darkest days of the year, right? The winter solstice is tomorrow night. And next week, Hanukkah, Christmas, a double dose of light. So tonight I'd like to set a kavanah, an intention for this service, that it may bring light to all of us, and so much light, we really sort of share our inner light in our prayer, so much light that it extends out into the world during these dark days. And with that, I think we're turning to Shalom Aleichem.
Page 6 and 7. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaSharem, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Boachem leShalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Baruch leShalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. צאתכם לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליון, ממלך מלאכי המלאכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, הקדוש הקדוש ברוך הוא. As we turn to the bottom of page 7 and 8, the words Higalena, we're asking God to reveal God's self to us, to spread over us shelter of peace. There's a midrash that says that light is peace. גדול השלום שלא התחיל הקדוש ברוך הוא לברוא דבר בעולמו אלא בדבר שהוא שלום. Because God didn't create earth before he created light or before he created something of peace. Gadol HaShalom. So when we say those words, we're saying Higalena, asking God to help us find light in those darkest places in that dark weekend. Asking God to reveal those sparks of light, make peace within ourselves, within our homes, within each other. Higalena, page 7 and 8 on the bottom. Higale, gale, gale, na, ufros, habibi, alay, Turn to page 10. And page 9, 9 and 10. Lechu meranena אשר ידוח מחקרי הארץ וטרפות הרינו אשר היה מנסה ושגדל יצר ונשתחווה ונכר ונכר ונכסה ילנו אנחנו אמר איתו מגלות לשמה 40 שנה אקוט בדור אשר נשבעתי באפי אם יבוא אל מנוחתי לפני אדוני כי והדיבה לשפוט הארץ לשפוט תבל בצדק ועמים באמונתו ינאי נאי נאי Please rise. Page 19 and 20. Midbar can be seated, everyone. In our Torah portion this week, Vayeshev, Joseph, or Yosef, that's my middle name, Yosef. He's experiencing a concealment of God's light. He's thrown into a pit. His trials and moments of deep darkness. But within that darkness, I can imagine him shouting the last phrase on the bottom of page 21-22. It says, Baruch Shem Kvod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. On our translation here on the right side, Rabbi Jill Hammer's translation, she writes, she says, numinous presence. I had to look that up. I had to look at what that meant. But I loved it. I loved it. So, numinous, mysterious and awe-inspiring, arising a spiritual or religious ambition. I love that. So, that name that we say, Baruch Shem Kvod Malchuto, that name, the Shem, the name of your numinous presence, your light, your peace. In Joseph's story, we find that within the darkness lie hidden sparks of divine light. Later, God's plan is revealed, and we try to find them even in our most darkest places. So when we proclaim this phrase, Baruch Shem Kvod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed, I'd like us to envision those scattered sparks of light within our own lives. The world around us, even in those challenging moments. You can find them in kindness and compassion, spiritual awareness, and listening to one another. Baruch Shem Kvod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed on the bottom of page 22. Baruch Shem Kvod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. 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 Oh, Baruch Shem Kvod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kvod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kvod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed.
You've probably heard of Joseph's multicolored coat. And that's why I wore this talit tonight, because it reminded me of his multicolored coat. But this week's Parsha, Vayeshev, is a real low point in Genesis. In it, Joseph's murderous brothers strip him of the coat, which is a symbol, of course, of their father's favoritism, of Jacob's favoritism. So there's a good reason that they're angry at him, they're rageful at him. So they strip off the coat and they throw him into a pit. They throw him into a dark, empty pit. But what our rabbis teach us is that they forgot to take off something he was wearing around his neck. And what he was wearing was something called a tzohar. A tzohar was a gift that God gave to the first human beings, to Adam and Chava, to Adam and Eve. And it was a glistening jewel. And suddenly, there was Joseph in this dark pit. And this jewel was handed down from generation to generation. And Joseph in the pit realized that something around his neck was suddenly glowing and lit up the pit and kind of foreshadowed the light that Joseph would bring to the world through his dream interpretations, through his wisdom, through saving a whole region from famine. So I'm going to do a little meditation with you based on being in this dark pit and alone, and see what kind of light we might find. So if you're comfortable, I invite you to close your eyes. Sort of shift around in your seat until you feel like your body feels good or good enough for this moment. And take a deep breath, sinking into your body. See what it means to be present at this moment. What is your quality of aliveness at this moment? Now let your mind go seeking and try to think of a moment of despair, or a moment of aloneness, or a moment of darkness. Don't go too dark, because we want you to come back to the light. Some moment, depression, despair, sadness, maybe from this past week, maybe from this past year. So many moments of sadness for us as a people. And see what it feels like to be in darkness. What's your body feeling? What's your heart feeling? Are you scared? And imagine this beautiful jewel around your neck suddenly filling up whatever place you're in with light. Perhaps it's a gift of strength from your ancestors. Perhaps it's some kind of light of divinity. But whatever it is, that light is filling your space inside and out. How do your feelings change when you see that light? When you experience being bathed by that light, that holy light? And imagine some force greater than yourself. You might call it God, you might not, depending on who you are, lifts you up from this pit of despair and restores you to community, to relationship, to connectedness, to hope. really get a good glimpse of yourself in that place of light as we greet the bride, L'cha Dodi, to the tune of Min HaMetzar, from the narrow place, I call to you, O God.
L'cha Dodi nikrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. L'cha Dodi nikrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Shamo v'zachor b'dibur echad ishmi'anu el hamiuchad Adonai echad u'shemo echad le'shem u'tiferet ilah. L'cha Dodi nikrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. L'cha Dodi nikrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי מקור הברכה מראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה ומחשבה תחילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה. מקדש מלך עיר מלוכה ומצעי מתוך אברך רב לך שבט בעמק הבכה, והוא יחמול עלייך חמלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה. אוהב נהרי מעפר גומי, לבשי בגדי תפארתך מיד, ידני שי בית הלכתי, קרבה אל נפשי גאלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבל. לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה. תתעוררי, תתעוררי, כי באורך קומי אורי, אורי, שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה. אוי איי נאי איי נאי נאי איי נאי נאי איי נאי איי נאי נאי ולא תגלמי, מה תשתוכחי ומה תהמי, בך יחזו אני עמי, ונבנית העיר אל תילאו לך דודי, לקראת כלה בשבת, או נקבלה לך דודי, לקראת כלה בשבת נקבלה, והיו לשיסה שוסי, ורחקו כל מבלעי, יסיס עלי אלוהי, כי אם זו שטן על גלה, הולך דודי, לקראת כלה בשבת, וקבלה לך דודי, לקראת כלה בשבת, נקבלה, יאי לה לה לה, 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 הולך דודי, לקראת כלה בשבת, ונקבלה לך דודי, לקראת כלה בשבת נקבלה, ימין ושמאל תפרוצי, ואת אדוני תריצי, על ידי שמן פרצי, ונשמחה ונגילה, לך דודי, לקראת כלה בשבת, ונקבלה לך דודי, לקראת כלה בשבת נקבלה. Please rise. בואי בשלום, עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצולה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה, בואי חלה שבת המלכה, הולך דודי, לקראת כלה בשבת, לא נקבלה לך דודי, לקראת כלה בשבת נקבלה. Please turn to face the center. Please remain standing one more minute. We pray for healing. Thinking about those names we need to mention today. Say the words, Hineni rofeh lach. I'll be a healer to you. Shamati et tfilatcha. I've heard your prayer. Hineni rofeh lach. Hineni rofeh. Hineni rofeh lach. שמעתי את תפילתך, הנני רופא לך, הנני שמעתי את תפילתך. תפילתך, מי שברך אבותינו אברהם יצחק ויעקב, אמותינו שרה רבקה רחל ולאה, הוא יברך וירפא את כל מי שהזכרנו כאן היום. הקדוש ברוך הוא ימלא רחמים עליהם, להחלימם ולרפאותם, להחזיקם ולחיותם, ישלח להם מהרה רפואה שלמה מן השמיים בתוך שאר חולי עמו ישראל, רפואת הנפש ורפואת הגוף, השתה ועגלה מזמן קריב, ונאמר אמן. הנני רופא לך, הנני רופא, שמעתי את תפילתך. שמעתי את תפילתך. Please be seated, everyone. Shabbos.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Time to greet new people, either in the room or on Zoom. If you're new and you're on Zoom, feel free to put your name in the chat. And if you're here in the room with us, we'd love to hear your name and where you're from, if you're willing. You just have to stand, and we have a microphone, if it's your first time. We have a microphone coming around. Take your time, Eden. From our trustee program manager, Eden Sidney Foster.
My name is Lauren Mallon, and I'm from the Vancouver Or Shalom Renewal Community.
Wonderful. Welcome, welcome.
My name is Allison Goldman-Bluston.
And I'm Sam.
Yeah, and we're from Baltimore.
Nice.
Welcome.
Welcome. Anyone else here first time want to introduce themselves?
First time? You haven't been here in a long time? Okay.
Daniel.
I'm Daniel from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. I've been here a couple of times, but I haven't been for a long time.
Great to have you back. When was the last time you were here?
Say a year and a half ago.
Okay. Well, welcome, Daniel.
All right.
Okay, what do you mean, no one from Brooklyn?
Here,
This
wait,
is
someone-
ridiculous.
From nearby.
Put it close to your
I'm from
mouth.
110th Street. I haven't been here in a long time.
Okay, well, welcome back.
110th Street. All right. Any new members? Any joined recently? All right.
All right. So I'm going to make a brief announcement. And after I do, we're giving you 2 minutes to say hello to somebody you've never met, or maybe you have met, you want to say hello to again. So you all have these announcements. I'm only going to read or call your attention to one of them. Rabbi Jill Hammer will be here the afternoon of January 4th, which is Shabbat, for a special book talk. She just published a book called The Moonstone Covenant, which is a book of fantasy and imagination. And we'll be having Havdalah and an interesting conversation. And of course, she'll be signing books. So please join us then. and lots of other wonderful things that you can see here, including Chazan Basia Schechter will be joining us next Shabbat. So 2 minutes.
Please rise, everybody.
Just come back when we start, indicating it's time for the Baruch Hu.
You do that and many other things, I'm sure. I wanted to share something with you. Absolutely constructive. Like seriously. Right. Okay, so you're such a good accompanist. Accompanist? No. You're a great accompanist. You're a great ear player. So you play what's really pretty and appropriate. Having said that, when you're given a solo, you should have a switch. I mean it. As a musician, when you're given a solo, your switch goes on, and you have your little pocket full of tools that makes you shine. And that's all I'm saying. And you're constructive. Because when you're given that opportunity, and if you have an idea of what where your forte is, or what you
Everything's great. Ba'al Hu. seated. שכינה ובכל עם אשר ידבר אמרי בערבים. We're continuing on page 34. The bottom of the page. אלא חיה וקיימת, תמיד תמלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוכה שכינה המרהיבה ערבים Continue on page 36. אהבת עולם בית ישראל אחת, תורה ומצוות, חוקים ומשפטים, אותם לימדתם. כן אדוני אלוהינו, שורנו, שיח בחוקים. ונגע יומם ולילה. ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמי. ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל. שמע ישראל אדוני אלוהינו אדוני אחד. Page 39. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך. והיה אם שמעו תשמעו על מצוותיי אני מצווה אתכם. Page 43. ויאמר אדוני אל משה לאמור, דבר אל בני ישראל ואמרת עליהם, ועשו להם ציצית על כנפי בגדיהם לדורותם, ונתנו על ציצית הכנף תתכלת, והיה לכם לציצית, וראיתם אותו וזכרתם את כל מצוות אדוני ועשיתם אותם העולם, ולא תטורו אחרי לבבכם ואחרי עיניכם, אשר אתם זונים אחריהם, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם, amen. On page 48. As we head to sing Mi Chamocha, a prayer to help us remember to cherish our freedom. I'm actually thinking about my daughter Lily's new favorite book. It's called The Invisible String. Has anybody heard of that book? It's really nice. It's a really good book. Don't worry, I have something to say about it. Hold on. So, in this book, my daughter Lily learns that everybody, and I learned too, that we're all connected with an invisible string. No matter how far apart we are from those we love, whether by distance, time, even fear, uncertainty, even those who aren't with us, we remain connected by an unbreakable string of love. So though this string is invisible, the presence of this string, it's felt in moments of closeness, of moments of courage, moments of light. Mi Chamocha on page 48, we're reminded that hope and love are never far away. Entering into Hanukkah next week and remembering that even those small lights can fight against darkness. And these invisible threads of connection, they bind us to each other, bind us to God. Give us courage to step forward into the unknown, trusting in the light to guide us. On page 48. Mi chamocha, ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha, nedar b'kodesh, nora, מלכותך ראו בניך בוקר הים לפני משה ומרים עוזר לי אנו ואמרו אנו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל. 49. השכיבנו, השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, עמידנו מלכנו לחיים ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך. ונגן מעדנו אסר מעלינו אויב דבר וחרב ורעב ויגון ואסוס את המפנינו. ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך, ברוך אתה אדוני הפורס סוכת שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ועל ירושלים. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת וינפש. On the bottom of page 52, חצי קדיש. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, ועל מה דיברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכונו יום אחד ובחיי דכל בית ישראל בגלה בה ובזמן קרי וימרו יש יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי לקודשה בריחו לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה דמירן בעלמא, and let us say Amen.
The Amidah is on page 56 and following. I'm curious, how many of you have seen Wicked? So I was so taken by the movie and the play, and specifically by a character named Elphaba. Now don't worry, no major spoilers are coming. For those of you who have not seen the movie or the play, you should know that Elphaba was born from an affair between the wife of a governor and a traveling salesman. And she was born with green skin, which caused her parents to reject her. The story of her birth is in the lyrics of "No One Mourns the Wicked." And of course, from the moment she was born, she was, well, different. It's coming. Now, the baby's coming. And how? I see a nose, I see a curl. It's a healthy, perfect, lovely, little, sweet Oz. What is it? What's wrong? How can it be? What does it mean? It's atrocious, it's obscene, like a froggy, ferny cabbage. The baby is unnaturally green. Take it away, take it away. That is the beginning of Elphaba's lifelong experience of rejection from her parents and her peers for being green. But here's the part that caught my attention. It was at the end, and it's only a little detail at the end. So again, if you haven't seen it, don't worry too much. But when Elphaba is running away from the bad guys, she leaps through a window in a palace, and she begins to plummet towards her death. But here's what saves her. She sees, at this point, she's, I don't know, what would you say, 16, 17, 18, all right. She sees herself as a child and reaches her hand towards the child that she was. When the two join hands, she begins to rise, to soar. Empowered, she flies into the unknown. And part 2 is coming. Elphaba reaches out and catches her past self. When I saw this, I thought about something I had learned recently from a brain science educator whose name is Sarah Payton. She said this in an interview. Anyone ever hear of her here? No. Okay, good. If you're interested in some links, I will send them to you. She says, and I quote, and I kind of roughly transcribe this interview, "When people have been abandoned, they want the person who originally abandoned them to come back, to rescue them. They don't want to turn back to themselves and try to help the person within that was abandoned. Saying to themselves, I will not turn toward myself to make sure that someone else comes to get me." End quote. We will refuse to do what Elphaba does, reach out to their past abandoned selves. And here's what Payton says about healing. The first thing to acknowledge is that the abandonment is real. The task is to turn towards ourselves, to put our arms around the self that was abandoned. We need to grow large enough to hold the horror of abandonment, the horror of emptiness and aloneness. If we catch a glimpse of the horror of abandonment, she says, we can reclaim, we can catch the abandoned self, unquote. And that's exactly what Elphaba does. She catches her abandoned self. Now I want to turn to the drama in this week's Parsha, which is the beginning of the Joseph story, Vayeshev, where there is profound abandonment. For those of you who don't know the story, Joseph starts off as a son who is favored by his father. And the Torah is not shy about telling us this. It says, and Israel loved Joseph more than all his sons. V'Yisrael ahav Yosef mikol banav. Something that, if a parent feels, they might be a little bit embarrassed, but the Torah really reveals all the ugly details. And Jacob himself is not shy about his own favoritism. He gives Joseph a coat of many colors, a token of his favoritism, leading his brothers to hate him. And again, the Torah says explicitly again and again, they hate him. Joseph is a character set apart. From the beginning, he stands alone. He goes to help his brothers while they're shepherding, but they're a group, and he's kind of apprenticing with them. And the next thing he does to further set himself apart is tattle on them, right? He brings back bad reports. He always seems to be alone and yet wanting attention. When he has these sort of bizarre dreams, he says to his brothers, listen to me, please. Please hear this dream that I have dreamt. Shim'u na chalom hazeh asher chalamti. He relates two dreams, insisting that his brothers pay attention. One where his brothers are sheaves and bow down to his sheaf, and the other in which 11 stars and the moon and the sun, representing his brothers and his parents, all bow down to him. In each dream, he seems to get exactly what he wants. He's alone, he's at the center of the drama, he's in complete control, he is invulnerable. Then the Torah tells us, when they hear the dream, the brothers hate him even more. V'yosifu od sno oto. The only time we hear about hatred before this story is we hear that Leah is the hated wife, right? That's the first time we hear the word hatred in the Torah. And that has a lot to do with the family dynamics, right? Who's the rejected mother and who's the beloved mother? Joseph is the son of the beloved mother, Rachel. But here's something that happens that's really strange. Jacob, the Torah tells us, observes the dynamics, keeps them in mind, and yet he sends Joseph alone to see his brothers shepherding in Shechem, right? So as soon as a student of the Torah hears the word Shechem, they know it's a site of horror and tragedy and violence. Their sister Dinah was raped in Shechem, and then the brothers carry out this massive massacre, killing all the men of Shechem. So Jacob sends Joseph alone, and on his way he meets an Ish, a mysterious man. And the Ish asks him, what are you seeking? Right? Such a simple question, which feels like it operates on two levels. Like, what are you looking for? Where are you going? Are you lost, right? You see someone in New York City who doesn't know their way. What are you looking for? But what are you seeking? Ma tivakesh. And Joseph answers, it is my brothers I seek. Et achai anochi mevakesh. Which again, one can hear on two levels, right? He's looking to connect somehow to his brothers that hate him. He's going about it all wrong, but that's what he wants. His tragic and futile seeking of his brothers is heart-rending. For his brothers then see him only from a distance and plan to kill him. They strip him of his coat of many colors and throw him into a dark pit. Imagine at that moment how alone and despairing and abandoned Joseph feels. No one comes to retrieve him. No one comes to rescue him, not his brothers and not his father. His oldest brother, Reuven, finally returns to the pit, but it's too late. He's been sold into slavery and is on his way to Egypt. So here's the question. How does one recover from an abandonment like that? An abandonment of one's very own brothers. How does one retrieve the abandoned self? Does Joseph wait for his brothers to retrieve him from exile in Egypt? Decidedly not. To make a long story short, Joseph ultimately thrives in Egypt, becoming Pharaoh's right-hand man, saving an entire region from famine. Years later, his brothers finally show up in Egypt, but it's not to rescue him, it's not to save him, it's to be saved, right? They want to be saved from famine. And they come to Joseph and don't know who he is, and they think he is this, and he is this huge, important, political figure in Egypt, and Joseph doesn't reveal his identity. If we think about Sarah Payton's wisdom, we find that what Joseph does first is feeling the horror of what happens to him. It is said again and again, 8 times, that he cries. Right? No other figure in the whole Torah cries as much as Joseph. Once his brothers arrive, he cries and he doesn't stop. Perhaps his crying indicates exactly what Sarah Payton is talking about. He finally feels the horror of what happened to him. He doesn't only know it, right, cognitively, consciously, but he lets the knowledge sink into his body and he cries. And maybe he even feels the cumulative pain of Genesis, generations of favoritism, of jealousy, of hatred between brothers. This is not a light book. He is the one for whom it finally lands. It lands in his heart and it lands in his body. He cries and 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 he cries. The rabbis teach us in the Midrash that once Jacob dies and the brothers, all of them, were returning from burying their father, Joseph actually visits the pit that he was thrown into. He actually pays an homage to the pit of abandonment. And what does he do when he gets there? He says a blessing. He says a blessing for the miracle that occurred to him in that place. Why a miracle? Because it set him upon a journey in which he saved the life of an entire population of people in a certain region and also saved his family. Maybe the rabbis are really onto something here. Maybe this is Joseph's Elphaba moment. He goes back and visits his abandoned self in the pit, reaching out a hand, so to speak, to his younger self and becoming complete again, becoming whole, uniting with his younger self and maybe with his brothers as well. And there's one more retrieval I want to tell you about. Before the Israelites leave Egypt, what do? They take Joseph's bones with them, which maybe was also a way of saying, we abandoned you once, but not this time. Because freedom means claiming all of who we are, all the abandoned parts of ourselves, and all the abandoned people in our own community, stretching out a hand back in order to go forward, and then emerging free to rise, to soar on eagle's wings, to be empowered as a people. In carrying out Joseph's bones, the Israelites are finally claiming Joseph as their own. He's been reunited with his brothers, what he has been seeking all along. May we all be blessed to seek and find ourselves. May we all be blessed to seek and find one another, to raise ourselves and one another from the dark pit of despair. In these dark days leading to Hanukkah, may we be blessed with the courage of connection.
Go, 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 Joseph, you know what they say. Sorry. That was a shout out to the Zoom. That's what they were yelling out to you. Go, 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 Joseph. That's what we're saying. Page 7879, please rise. והשב אותה אל Go, 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 Joseph, you know what they say. Hang on now, Joseph, you'll make it someday. Shalala, Joseph, you're doing fine. You and your dreams are ahead of your time. Go, 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 Joe. Go, 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 Joe. Go, 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 Joe. Everybody. Go, 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 Joe. Yeah. Go, 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 Joe. Go, 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 Joe. Go, 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 Joe. Joe. Go, 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 Joseph, you know what they say. Come on now, Joseph, you'll make it someday. Shalala, Joseph, you're doing fine. You and your dreams are ahead of your time. Venema, ve'haya Adonai, lemelecha kol haaretz, bayom ha'hu, yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo echad.
Mourner's Kaddish can be found on page 116. If you're saying Kaddish, observing a yortzeit or in Shiva, please remain standing. And if you'd like to say the name of the person that you're reciting Kaddish for, I'm going to go around the room.
For all the victims of conflict.
Yosef Ben Shulam.
Rose Alfred.
My Bobby FaceTime.
Yosef Israel Ben Canaan.
My great aunt. My great aunt Sarah Hawkins.
Did I miss someone back there? Okay. If it's your custom to rise in support of the mourner as they recite Kaddish, please rise. Page 116.
גדל והתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דיברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחיי חון ויום חון וחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה בזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה וברך לעלם ולעלמי עלמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתעלה שמי דקודשה בריחו. לעילה מכל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, לאמירן ועלמה ואמרו אמן. יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום ממרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו אמן. Please rise for Kiddush. Into this cup of blessing. Some thank yous for today. First of all, thank you to our davening team. Thank you, Rabbi Dan Kohler-Esses.
Thank you, Chazan Shimon Smith.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, Lauren Goldsound on violin. Thank you, Glenn Grossman. Our online staff, and Claire, thank you very much. And our on-site staff, thank you, Eden, and thank you, Natasha. Thank you, Victor, Blanca, Leo, Tevin. AV, Craig, thank you very much. Security, Gil. Please note, turns out we're not going to have our pre-Hanukkah party tomorrow. Anybody who registered will be refunded, of course, and we'd like to wish everybody a happy Hanukkah. And tomorrow morning, we have open book.
Open book. Parsha class, 8:45.
And at 10 a.m.
Services as usual.
We turn to page 88. Yom HaShishi. ויחולו השמיים והארץ וכל צבאם ויכל אלוהים ביום השביעי מלאכתו אשר עשה וישבות ביום השביעי מכל מלאכתו אשר עשה ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי ויקדש אותו כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות. סברי חבריי, ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא פרי הגפן. אמן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר קידשנו מצוותיו ורצבנו בשבת קודשו באהבה וברצון הנחילנו זיכרון למעשה ורשי כי הוא יום תחילה למקרא קודש זכר ליציאת מצרים כי בנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל עמים ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. Amen. Shabbos, everybody. עושה שלום במרומה הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ועמו שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל יושבי תבל עמו אמן. שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ועמו אמן. שלום במרומה הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ועמו red and yellow and green and brown and scarlet and black and ochre and silver and the yellow and blue. Chavez.
Broadway next.
Chavez.
Sure that wasn't